What's up, Kenny?
Yes.
Fresh off of Shawn winning the WBC title. Was this the smartest fight of his career?
Probably close. Probably close. I'd have to search my memory. One stands out with me that he boxed a really smart fight was Phil LaGreco. There may be another one if I really get to searching my memory, but yeah, it's up there.
What adjustments did he make? You know, you're right. We're seeing him change the flow of the fight in the third, fourth, fifth round, but what did he actually do to do that?
Well, I think a big part of it was Danny didn't expect Shawn to box as much as he did. And the problem that I see that Danny was having with it was, you know, he wasn't able to lead. He wanted to counter, but he wasn't able to lead. And so Shawn was doing what we call pulling it out of him. He was making feints and making moves that would make Danny go for the big punch. And a lot of times Shawn could see the big punch and get out of the way of it, and it worked out well for us.
Yeah, because it looked like Shawn was starting to counter his counter.
Yeah, he was countering. Shawn was countering him.
Was that just to mix Danny up, give him different looks so he couldn't just start timing?
Well, people just don't know how good Shawn's jab is, and people just don't know his boxing abilities. They don't know that. And, you know, like the guy now saying, you know, that he wants to fight is Errol Spence. He's going to have a lot of different looks. I don't know if you even saw, there was a couple times tonight Shawn switched to southpaw. You know, so, you know, when we do get that opportunity to fight Errol Spence, he's going to see some different looks that he's going to have to deal with. And a lot of times people won't be able to prepare for that with Shawn.
Is it better for boxing also that Shawn won because he'll be more willing to take the Spence fight than Danny Garcia would have been?
Absolutely. I don't know that he would be more willing, but I thought that Danny Garcia did a great job tonight. I think he's a great fighter. I never felt comfortable that we were just total control, but you know, in the last few rounds and championship rounds, I felt that Shawn really employed his will. Even though he still continued to box, he would switch it up and come back at Danny. So.
Was that part of the plan though, to start off a little slow with Danny, or and then
it wasn't necessarily starting off slow. It appears to be slow because it's not what people are used to be Shawn doing, but he threw like almost 750 punches. If he had been the Shawn Porter he normally is, he would have threw close to 900. No, I think he really would have. I mean, because there were times that myself and Barry were yelling, come on, you know, do more. And he was being more tactical. And there was a lot of times I was yelling for him to be smart.
Did you feel like he got off to a slow start early on?
Shawn? It wasn't that it was a slow start. It looked slow because it's him doing it. And he's not fighting the way people normally do. But this was our game plan. It was our game plan. It truly was.
Did you know after 12 that you had the fight won?
Barry can answer this better than me. Did you know after 12 we had the fight won?
Absolutely. Absolutely. Like I said, you going back to, you know, throughout the fight, I kind of remember damn near round by round. You know, it was a couple of close rounds. I gave Danny definitely the first round. Thought we let him off the gas. But down the stretch, I think it was, what, 10th round, going to 11th, 12th, and I said, we got to have these, man. Got to have them.
Were there ever times, because there was a few rounds where Shawn had the round one, and then he started going exchanging in the last 10, 20 seconds. Did you guys like that when he was doing that, or were you saying you already got the round one?
No, we wanted him to do that. We actually wanted more from him right there.
We urged him.
Yeah, we were encouraging him.
Kenny was talking to him about, give me more. Because if you go back to that fight, every time Danny was able to come forward, he was aggressive, he'd throw punches, right? But like Kenny said, these was big shots, and we could see the shots coming. A few times Shawn was able to counter the shot. But like Kenny said, there was a few times he had made his move, he got inside, the counter was there, but he didn't take the counter. So that's what we were talking about. Now, flip it around, when Shawn was able to press forward, come here, put Danny on his heels, he would punch. He wouldn't punch it out. I mean, so we knew that. Plan was solid. Kids stuck to it. A couple of times he veered from the path, but we snatched him back on the path. God bless him.
Where do you think it ranks in terms of Shawn's toughest fights? Was Danny one of the toughest fights, or?
He's right up there with Keith Thurman. He's definitely right up there with Keith Thurman. And I think all those guys are going to make each other great by fighting each other.
Absolutely.
And let me say this, and I'm asking your opinion. In a lot of ways, did we out-counter the counterpuncher today?
Absolutely.
Okay. I thought we did. What you think?
The feints was getting him, and when we made him use his feet more than the noon, took him out of his comfort zone because he then has a steady pace. He's not a real aggressive guy.
Right.
We knew that, you know,
And he wants to counter punch and set up the big roundhouse shots. Once we neutralized that and took that away for the most part, like I said, you got to snuck a couple of them in there. But for the most part, we took that away from him. That was Shawn's fight. And me personally, I think if Shawn would have mashed on the gas just a little bit more, stayed in his chest a little bit more, it would have even been a far greater victory. By a wide margin.
He had room for a bigger.
A lot of
Yeah, he did, because, you know, Barry was asking him to take breaths in the corner, and he was perfect. There was no, helping. Barry just asked him to do that because it's what he should be doing. But Shawn was clear, his eyes were clear, he was talking to me clearly, and he would say, hey, what do you think? And I would tell him what to do. And I think his jab, I'll go back and look at the punch stats, but I think his jab was tremendous tonight.
Yeah.
Which, again, the jab could even been more.
You know, Kenny, when you think about it, go back to when we were doing the interview the other day with Showtime, and I told them that, but they don't understand, Shawn had a long amateur career. Number one, if you look at Shawn's resume, the people that he fought and he beat, an amateur at 65. At 65 now. So this is not a guy that can't box.
You got to be able to box to beat those guys.
Yeah.
Right. In the amateurs, right?
In the amateurs, because it's a point system.
And look at the punch stats. I mean, punches he threw.
And how much? Because you guys gave me great insight on the X's and O's, what Shawn feinting and baiting him in the counters. But how much did Shawn win this fight? Because intangibles, things like cardio and character, was that the deciding factors, or was it? Do you think it was?
I think a lot of those things played their part in a lot of different ways, but also don't take anything away from Danny. Danny fought a great fight.
Right.
I never felt like when he would clinch that it was excessive. I never felt like it was holding. I felt like it was very tactical and it was very intelligent on his behalf.
But it seems like Shawn gives the impression when you watch that he wants it more than the other guy too.
He gave that impression, but again, he did things that people don't normally see him doing, so they may be looking and saying, what is he doing? He's moving away too much. But he was actually trying to get Danny to commit to some things and make Danny throw those big punches, and it just really worked out. And I got to thank these guys. I got to thank Barry Hunter. I got to thank Hal Chernoff. They did a great job.
Shawn and Kenny for taking us on this journey. It was special to me, you know what I mean, when he made that call. And see, like I told you a long time ago, I don't get out of my bed for just anybody. This is a younger brother to me that I love. Hal, again, like I said, if you go back in the archives, you look at them corners, man, we've been on a million guys together.
This is three the hard way right here.
Long time, actually.
Both corners, on the opposite end and on the same side.
Fighting each other and doing it together.
And it's crazy how God works, man.
Yes,
I keep going back to this for a reason. You feel me? And I told Hal in the back. I mean, we just had a conversation the other day. You know what I mean? Because it ain't always been a smooth road. You know, we hit bumps all the time. You know what I mean? Kenny and I speak about it the whole night. And I just told Hal, a lot of times, if you just, the Bible says, be still.
Be still.
And know that I am God.
Sit still. Just be still.